guys, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for watching. Today I filmed an affordable back to school makeup look, and what that means to me, obviously affordable, so drugstore products, but also something quick, so you can sleep as long as you possibly can before your alarm goes off without, being super tired at school, but still also looking cute for school. So this is what I came up with, and I had fun shopping at the drugstore, and I know a lot of people who watch my videos are in college or in high school. Your parents are still buying your makeup if you don't have a job, or sometimes you just like to save money and you're on a budget. So this video is for you guys, and then of course if you just need a quick makeup look, this is even good for for the office, not just for school. So real quick, this video is a voiceover, not a talk through, because I wanted to try to keep it the real length, like real time, so you can see how long it's going to take to do your makeup before school. I'd say like 20 minutes. But I use the Sonia Kashuk sponge everyone's been talking about. I got the more white one because if you get the one that has more black in it, apparently it's a little bit more firm and people are loving it. So look how huge this thing is. It's gigantic. My husband walked in here, he's like, oh my gosh, that sponge is huge. Where are your other ones? And they're like clearly bright orange and pink. They're sitting right there in my vanity, but he saw this one over everything else. But anyway, I hope you guys all have a great school year. And if you guys want to see how I got this makeup look using affordable drugstore products, then just keep watching. So first, I'm going to take this NYX Away We Glow. It's supposed to be like a MAC strobe cream dupe. This is the more yellow tone because they did have a pinky toned one. And I'm just going to apply that all over my face before my primer. And then to prime, I'm going to take the NYX Angel Veil, which is very similar to the Hourglass Foundation Primer that I've been loving. Sorry if you guys hear Graham in the background. He is playing with toys. I try to lace them out for him to play with in another room, but you know how that goes if you have kids. So now for foundation, I'm going to mix two of the Wet n Wild Photofocus, the shades Golden Beige and Soft Ivory. Wasn't quite tan enough there for the Golden Beige, so I bought Soft Ivory to mix in because it was the most yellow undertoned light shade that they had. Still kind of pink, but it worked okay mixed together. And I'm actually just going to take my finger and just kind of rub all those areas together before I go in and blend out with a sponge. So usually I would not typically do that, but it works. And then I am going to go in with that Sonia Kashuk sponge that I mentioned in my intro, which, by the way, I really did like. It blends out your foundation really well. And then I also really love this foundation. I've been using it a lot more since this video. Even though it applies really matte, which I'm not used to, throughout the day, like your face just literally starts to glow, and I would walk by a mirror and my skin just looked amazing. So I really have been loving this foundation, but I think I need a darker shade now that I went to the beach and got a little bit tan. So I'm just going to blend that foundation all over, make sure it's nice and blended in, and then I'm going to go in with a new concealer. Wait, I made that sound way too exciting. It is not a new concealer, it's new to me. How about that? So this is the Makeup Revolution concealer everyone's been talking about. And then after I apply the concealer, I'm going to immediately go in with that Maybelline Fit Me powder in the shade Fair Light 10 to Bake. So I have the shades C7 and C5. And the concealer itself is fine. I really wasn't too crazy about it at the end of the day. But when I went back in with the second shade that's supposed to be lighter, it was almost hardly even a different shade. And I'm just not crazy about the undertone selection. They're really pink, even though they're supposed to be more neutral or yellow. So it's just okay. I know a lot of people love it, and if you're not as yellow as me, or you like a more peachy kind of under eye, you would love this. But I did go back in with just a little bit more for some extra coverage, and I'm just going to blend that out and then go in with that baking powder. So again, I use the shade 10, which is Fair Light, and I find this really versatile for even when I'm pale to even when I'm more tan. And I just love this powder. It's so finely milled, it looks amazing, and it's so inexpensive, but still has a really high quality effect. So then I'm going to take what's left in the cap using my Eco Tools full powder brush and just kind of set down the rest of my face, and then also wipe off some of that excess bakage. And I did set down on my eyes with the same powder just because it's easier to blend eyeshadows, which are powder over powder. And then I'm kind of showing you guys how to dip your brush into your bronzer so you don't get really muddy, sloppy looking cheeks. You kind of want to dip it in an angle. And this is just the Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer, just the original bronzer shade. And that is a Sonia Kashuk number 130 brush. And I'm just kind of run that into the hollows of my cheeks. And then I'll go back in and bronze my forehead. And then this is the Elf Small Taper brush that I'm using just to wipe away all of the other bakage around my eyes. And then I'm using that same Sonia Kashuk brush just to contour the sides of my nose quickly. And then to bronze my forehead, I'm going to take the number 7 Caramel Bronzer with a Morphe M527 bronzing brush just to warm up my forehead. And I will take it down on the sides of my cheeks to blend in that contour and the bronzer, and then even on the sides of my nose. So I wanted to use some affordable brushes in this video too, because I would usually use my Tom Ford bronzing brush at this point. But these two are very similar. The Morphe just, of course, is not a luxury brush like Tom Ford, even though they are really good quality. So it's just not quite as soft, but it gets the job done, and I used to love this brush. And then for blush, I'm going to take the Burt's Bees Bared Peach Blush and the Morphe E4 Angled Blush Brush. I'm going to apply that to the apples of my cheeks and then the tip of my nose. And then for brows, I'm going to take the NYX Brow, I think it's called the Micro Brow Pencil. I'm not exactly sure, but it's their brow pencil. And I used to love this pencil, but this is just a little bit too warm and red tone for my hair. It did look better at the end of the day, but this is why I switched to the Anastasia Brow Wiz, because the NYX one is in the shade Espresso. It's the next darkest shade to the actual black, and that one's just a little bit too red for me. So it is a really great pencil, and I would still be using it if the undertone was more cool than warm. So really, really good, but I always start kind of in the center of my eyebrow and use small, short, like hair-like strokes, just to start filling everything in and giving my brows a nice shape. And then to set my brows, I'm going to take the Essence Make Me Brow. This is like $2 or $3, and it kind of has little fibers in it to fill in sparse areas, and it's really, really nice. So I've been loving that. Now for the eyes, I'm going to take this new Milani palette and jump right in. So I'm going to take that first shade, which looks really pink in the pan, but it is a lighter brown, and that is on a Morphe M502 blending brush. I'm just going to start working that into my crease as the transition. Now these shadows do blend really well, and they were soft, but it's just not my favorite palette. You'll see at the end that I go back in and kind of repeat all 3 steps just because it faded on me, as well as the shimmer. So it was okay, but just not my favorite. So let me know what you guys' favorite drugstore eyeshadow palettes are so I can start incorporating those into my videos more. And then now going back into the palette, I'm going to take the next dark brown shade on that same brush and just work that more on the outer third of my eye and then blend it into my crease slightly. I'm not really being too precise, but you do want to make sure, just like you place your bronzer brush in at an angle, you do the same thing with your eyeshadow brush. That way you don't get just one huge round circle of color all over the whole entire brush. That just gives you more control over your blending. And then I'm going to go back into the first shade and just blend those two together and try to build it up a little bit more. Now to finish off the crease, I'm going to go with a Morphe M433 and use the darkest brown just to press that really into my outer V to add a little bit more depth. So I am pressing it into my skin first and then kind of dragging and blending it out, which again gives you a lot more control over where you're placing the color so you don't look like you have a black eye. And then that M502 again, just to make sure everything is nice and seamless. Now for shimmer shades, I'm going to take that goldish shade, which this was me trying to show you how pigmented it was, but my camera wouldn't focus. On the eye, it was just meh. It was okay. Not really that vibrant, and again, at the end of the day, it just didn't look, that pretty. So I'm going to use that on my finger and just apply it like I always do. And then for my inner corner, I'm going to take that lighter white shade and spray my brush with the Loreal Infallible setting spray just to make it pop more, and just use that right on my inner corner. And like this whole video, my camera was dying, so I was trying to check the monitor to make sure it was still actually recording and just trying to make it work. But I'm going to use that same palette and just kind of repeat those first 2 steps on my lower lash line just to tie everything together. And then add a little bit more of the inner corner highlight because we lost some of its brightness. Now jumping back to the face, I'm going to take this Pixi by Petra highlight. This is in the shade Subtle Sunrise. And this is a Morphe M501 brush that I'm applying that to the high points of my cheeks and as well as the tip of my nose. And then I'll also do a little bit right above my eyebrows. And then I'm going to wipe off my excess chin bakage and kind of clean up my bronze and contour with that same e.l.f. small tapered brush. And then before I do my mascara, I am going to go ahead and set my face with that Loreal Infallible setting spray. So I'm going to give myself a nice spritz of that, which the spray is very heavy, not as fine as the Kat Von D Lock-It for sure and the Urban Decay All-Nighter. And then just to press that into my skin, I'm going to take that Sonia Kashuk sponge and just go over it one more time, make sure everything looks nice and smooth. And then I'm going to add a little bit more bronzer, a little bit more blush. Nothing crazy, but this is the Loreal True Match powder in the shade W7, just to make me look a little bit warmer, because after I was done, I just kind of looked a little bit too pale. So I just wanted to go back in with a little bit more bronzer as well as my highlight to add some more intensity there too. And then going back to the eyes, I'm not doing eyeliner today, but I am going to curl my eyelashes and put on a coat of mascara on top and bottom. So this is the Revlon Volumazing mascara, and I love this. So I'm just going to kind of wiggle into my lashes to tease them, make them stand up a little bit more. And I'm going to apply a coat on top and bottom. There's like brush bristles in my hair, sorry. And then I'm going to wipe off my excess chapstick as usual and the foundation that's on my lips. And then I'm going to take this Milani lip liner in 04. I love these lip liners. And just line my lips. Boring process, I know, but I usually speed this up, so I don't know if some of you guys would like to see it in real time. And then for lipstick, I'm going to take the NYX Euro Trash lipstick, which is so pretty. It gives me those whirl, like Kylie Jenner viral lipsticks, you know, that whole vibe, and it's super pretty. And then I'm going to take this NYX Butter Gloss in the shade Creme Brûlée and just apply that right over the top. And I love the way the gloss made the color change just a little bit. And I love these glosses anyway. They're super affordable and they're really comfortable. And then, like I said, I just kind of repeated those same 3 steps on my eyes because it started to fade. And I wanted it to stand out a little bit more. But that is really it for this makeup look. So thank you guys so much for watching. Please give me your eyeshadow drugstore palette suggestions, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!